to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we're just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well out there. Hope you guys are having a fantastic, wonderful Thursday, man. Tomorrow is Friday, y'all. I just want to say that. Tomorrow is Friday, y'all. Pat yourselves on the back for making through this week. That's all I got to say. This week has been enlightening and insane. We got women out here. We got people out here that are coming out as white instead of black now, identifying themselves as white because they were hiding themselves as black. I don't know. This is 2020. Let me just say that. This is 2020. The craziest year I think I've ever experienced in my whole entire life. And the thing is I wasn't expecting it to be like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting it like this at all, y'all. It's been a crazy one, y'all. It's been a crazy one. It's been an emotional roller coaster ride. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, good evening, Sarah. Good evening, Malia. Good evening, Jalen. Good evening, Kiss. Good evening, Nobleness. Good evening, That Year. Michael D. Let's see who else is in here. Chardon. Now, here's the thing. I just read on the alerts here, or I read Chardon saying, I'm not getting the alerts. And I saw somebody else mention that in the comments in the most recent video I just popped up, or the most recent pop-up video I just did about this woman named Jessica Krug or Krug. I don't know. Anyway, but I sat there and I'm like, hey, here it is. If you guys can all do this for me, when you go to the page, hit that bell, hit that notification bell, like click on it, unclick it, and then click on it again. Make sure you are clicked on, locked in, and ready to go. Okay? Because, yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But these things have been just crazy. Yes, Michael D, I'm just reading that. Ever since Pascal was shut down mid-live video, I haven't been getting alerts, and I'm not even getting the morning vids until a day later. See, the thing is okay. Let me try to explain something to you in regards to the morning and the evening show videos. Okay, so just a really quick breakdown. When I get done with the live stream, for some weird reason, this is way before they kicked me off due to weird violations or whatever. But the morning show always seems to pop up as soon as the live stream is done. It'll pop up like an hour, maybe an hour or two later, no problem. But anytime I do an evening show, it always seems like it takes till like the very next morning for it to be processed and okayed by YouTube. I don't know why it does that. Now, as of recently, it seems like YouTube's been getting very slow and very sluggish on them approving my live videos. So sometimes these videos that I do live, they don't come up until like much later. You know what I'm saying? They just keep I'll do my morning show, and then sometimes it won't go on until that night. I'll already pump out a whole bunch of other stuff, a whole mess of other stuff. And it'll take forever and a day for it to, for the original full 2-hour show to be posted. It's kind of ridiculous. So it was before they shut me down randomly a couple days ago, just so you guys know. But here's the thing. If you guys can all do me that small favor now, or before you leave the show, or before you forget, before you rest your weary heads on your pillows tonight, hit that notification bell again. Make sure that thing is on. Sometimes I've done it before where I'll have to unclick it, like unclick the notification bell and then turn it back on, so that anytime I like a person that I follow or that the content that I appreciate, I always get a notification. So that's how I usually do it. YouTube has been slipping like that. And yeah, ever since I got kicked off, ever since they shut me down mid-video, mid-live stream, they've been acting really weird. It's been acting really, really strange. So do that for me. I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're having a good evening, or you're having a good end of your day, or you're getting started with your day, because people live in the future overseas, all you in Australia and whatnot. Hello. All you guys, please, if you're having a good day or you're looking forward to a very good day ahead of you, hit that like button down below. I'd really, really appreciate it. And of course, everybody who's watching right now, who's never seen this show before, most definitely hit that subscribe button. That would really, really mean a lot. We are slowly but surely marching to 9,000 subscribers. Slowly, very slowly. But I do have high hopes up in this piece, man. I do have high hopes. But I'm seeing everybody in here. Nikki, did I see Nikki? Yes, Nikki, hello, hello. Nikki, man, everybody. Mr. Super's in here. We all out here, y'all. I'm trying to see if I'm Enemy Nation. What's up, man? You know what I'm saying? Hail to the no, I ain't wearing no MAGA shirt. But nice try. Anyway, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Who else am I missing here? Okay. Oh my God. So here it is. Here it is. We got to jump into this conversation. Yeah, and also, Nobleness, I am not giving up. Not giving up at all. Trust me, all day long. Anyway, we're going to jump into this thing. We got to jump into this, you know what I mean? I know a lot of you guys are waiting for the conversation that we need to have in regards to Deon Kay. Right now, this is something that happened in D.C. This is a very interesting story. Now, this is something that just happened. If I'm correct, it happened yesterday. And the police have released the body cam footage the very next day. It's funny because when we were talking about Daniel Prude earlier this morning, it's funny how long it took them to release the body cam footage of his death, covering everything that happened with his death. But this fatal shooting happened just the other day. So the Metropolitan Police Department has released body-worn camera footage in the fatal shooting of an 18-year-old kid named Deon Kay, a black man who was shot by DC police officers, or shot by a DC police officer when he fled from police Wednesday afternoon, as police were investigating reports of a man with a gun in the area. So, police said Kay brandished a firearm moments before he was shot in the chest. His death prompted protests amid increased nationwide and local scrutiny over police tactics. What else is new? Isn't that usually how we are reacting nowadays? Now, here it is. I have the body cam footage, or I actually have the body cam footage where he is shot. The moment, everything that leads up to him being shot. I don't have the whole long 10 minute, 12 minute long video because it's pretty long and it's just a whole bunch of other things. We're just wanting to see the meat and potatoes. Don't we? That's what we're here to see. The meat and potatoes, right, kids? So we're going to take a look at that here very shortly. And then, of course, I'm going to open up the phone lines. Today is going to be a very, very short show. I said that before. I said that last night, and that was a full-on, bold-faced lie. Tonight, though, I have to keep it very, very short. So we're just going to take a look at this body cam footage. I'm going to throw in my 2 cents. I'm going to open up the phone lines, and we're going to talk and hear from you guys and hear your opinions. So let's get this, all right? This is the body cam footage.
Don't move! Shots fired. Shots fired. Where is it? Where is it? I don't know. I'm looking for the gun. He's up there. I did.
All right. So that's what's going on. All right. Long story short, this is what has happened. We I can play the video again, but as you can see, I mean, it's fast. What happens right there is so bloody fast. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you. You know what I mean? I don't even know what to tell you. It happens so fast, but you can see, actually, let me rewind it a little bit and let me see if I can get to the spot and slow it down a tad. Let's see here. Okay, let's take a look at that one more time in slow-mo. Ooh, let me turn that off. All right. So obviously he's running around. There you go. See? Hold up. He's throwing the gun. Do you see that? That's the gun. He's throwing the gun. He's throwing the gun. Now, I'm going to rewind and play that again real quick. But I want you guys to see it with your own two eyes again here too. And I'm going to slow it down. So here we go. Happens pretty damn quick. He's chucking the gun, y'all. He ain't trying to shoot nobody. He's trying to chuck the gun away. That's literally what he's doing. But I'll say this, though. I'm going to say this. I'll say this, though. I guarantee you, the cop that we're seeing in the POV, the guy, the shooter, the cop who shot him, thought he was trying to throw the gun out like this. Like some hardcore action movie or something like that. I guarantee you he thought he was trying to shoot him like some John Woo flick, like a John Woo flick, woo, like that. Very big and dramatic. I guarantee you he was doing that, trying his damnedest to shoot him, but he wasn't. He was throwing that mug. He was throwing that gun. Now, one more time. We're going to go back just a tiny bit. See that? Let me go back just a little bit before that. Hold on. He's like, let me chuck that mug. Do you see that? One more time. See? He's got his hand cocked back like he's going to chuck that thing. He's trying to get rid of it, right? But unfortunately, there goes the gun out his hands, right? Gun went that way, but he still shot him. Of course. Like, Enemy Nation trying to curve the bullet like Wanted. Yeah, exactly. Like it looked like some dramatic, like he was trying to curve the damn thing. But here's the thing. Yeah, Kiss, we all watch way too many movies, but let's keep it straight funky. He was chucking the gun. I'm not sitting here saying that was a good idea. That was a bad idea. Because that was a very big gesture. And any cop is going to think that you are trying to do something with that gun. Even though he tossed it this way, he's still thinking, oh, you know what I mean? He's ready to go. He's got his gun out, ready to go. So what do you think is going to happen? He's going to pull out, pop, pop, like that. Because he doesn't know what your plan is. Just saying. I mean, here it is. I'm not, of course, I'm not trying to sit here and mess it all up, but at the same time, the kid tossed it and the guy reacted. And I really do think, wow, this is crazy that I'm thinking, but I really do think that it was an honest, justifiable move on the cop's end. I can't believe I just said that. But I do agree with Malia. I think it is. He's running. You got the cops coming after him. He's running towards the guy. He does some big gesture. The cop doesn't know what's going on, so he reacts and pulls the trigger. So, yeah, that's how I break it down. That's how I break it down, guys. It's crazy. But like I said, you know what I'm saying? It has not Enemy Nation MAGA shirt rubbing off. That's funny. No, it has nothing to do with that. I look at the facts. I look at what's going on. I put myself in that same situation. Like this morning when we had Daniel Prude with the cops basically choking him to death. That is unjust and wrong. A moment like this where a kid has a gun in his hand and he does some crazy gesture and starts throwing it, but the cop doesn't know what he's planning on doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. Out of nerves, out of adrenaline, out of protecting himself, out of him thinking that he's trying to pull the gun out to shoot him, what does he do? He pulls the trigger. So I could see that. I could see how the cop is innocent. Facts. You look at the facts and see what's real and what is not, and that's it. Doesn't matter about MAGA or not. No. No way, shape, or form am I MAGA. I'm just looking at the facts. So, with that being said, if I was in that cop's shoes, I probably would have pulled the trigger too. But if I was in the cop's shoes when it had to do with Prude's situation, I wouldn't have wrapped the thing around his neck. I wouldn't have planked on him so hard. I wouldn't have put a knee on his back. I would have given him some covers or a sheet or some clothing. You know what I'm saying? I would have figured out something to do for him because he's butt naked in the cold. It was snowing out there. This kid is running around with a gun, going crazy. You're trying to catch him. Everything's happening so fast. He's probably a fast little whippersnapper. He's running down. He's running towards you. He does some big gesture. Pop! Yep, you're going to get shot. Sorry. And you know what? I'll say this too. Thank God. It sounds really weird. Thank God the cop only reacted with one bullet. He didn't go, ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. You see what I'm saying? See, he's still breathing? Ba, ba. At least he didn't do that. But most definitely, I could look at this and see that things are I could see why the cop did what he did. Most definitely. Most definitely. Michael D, I know you wouldn't be here if I was hardcore MAGA, and I am not. But if you've noticed on my channel, some cop moments I have been behind, and some cop moments I have not been behind. It's all about what's going on in the situation. It's all about the facts. You know what I mean? So, there you go. It's all about the facts, guys. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So, my phone lines are open, 314-766-4581. Give me a call. Give me a call. Let me know what you think in regards to this. Because I know right now people are really upset in D.C. Understandably, people are mad. Understandably, people are upset. I understand. You know, it's another black man that's been shot. And it's still a terrible situation. But damned, I wish he didn't throw the gun like that. I really wish he chose a different way. a different direction. And the funny thing is that there's other videos of him like on his IG and everything, you know, gun toting, you know, rapping the music with the gun, pointing the gun at the camera and everything like that. So I mean, you know, he's you know, he's been gun toting for a while, that kid, you know, and it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. So, my phone lines are open. 314-766-4581. Give me a call. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. Also, if you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. And if this is your first time checking out this show, hit that subscribe button. That would really mean a lot. I do this show Monday through Friday. I do a morning show at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I also do an evening show at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, the one that you're watching right now. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're enjoying the conversation, hit that like button down below. Love to hear your thoughts in a call. 314-766-4581. No pressure. There we go. Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm from down south.
What's up? What's your name, man?
I go by Marcus. So
Marcus.
I'm the same age. Yeah.
What's up, man?
So I'm 18, and I
Right on.
I really, I think, at that age, we're real dumb, We just don't think things through, and it's terrible that he was able to have, a gun on him, At that age, you shouldn't have the responsibility to wield a weapon like that.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I mean, what I hate is that, all depending. I mean, I don't know his life. I don't know his background, his story, or anything of that sort. I mean, it still tears me up that he was shot and killed. That's not a way to go at all. Especially.
Wow, I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, he's no longer with us. But what really sucks is that there could have been a better option for him. You know what I'm saying? There could have been a better situation for him. I wish his life was not like that, or ended this way. But it's also, it sucks because it's not only just the people that are around you, or it's not just the choices that you make, but it's the choices and the people that you surround yourself with. And it's just terrible that he had to be running around with a gun, That's what led to his. That's basically what led to his demise. Unfortunately, shouldn't have to be like that, but it is.
Yeah, there needs to be better training with police officers. We shouldn't be gunning down people like this.
No, and they shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, they shouldn't. But then I keep looking at it, and I'm like, well, if you feel like, let me ask you this, Marcus. From down south, let me ask you this: if you were the one holding the gun, okay, you were the cop. Just think of you in his shoes. Adrenaline is pumping. We're answering to a call that there was somebody out there with a weapon. So then this guy comes out. They're trying to chase him, trying to catch him. He's running towards you, and he does that big gesture like we just looked at in the video. Wouldn't you pull the trigger? Let's just be completely honest. Wouldn't you pull the trigger?
To be completely honest?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, if he was pointing it at me, I didn't really see him pointing it at the officer, at least from what I saw on the show.
Yeah. No, he literally is just he's running and then he just tosses it. Now, I think that the officer thought he was, it's a split-second decision. You know what I'm saying? So the cop is sitting there going, oh, damn, he's about to pull this gun out and point it at me. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, I mean, he was running towards him in a very sporadic, motion.
Exactly.
And I could definitely see that'd be scary.
Right.
But I'm just an average civilian, so I would hope that I would be better than a regular cop.
Right. Me too. But at the same time, it's almost like you got a split-second decision where a guy's making a very big gesture. Do you either A, wait for him to make his move, or B, beat him to the punch?
This should just be a huge life lesson for all parties.
Right.
Just just be real careful.
Absolutely. Well, Marcus, thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate your 2 cents. Thank you.
All right, I appreciate it, man.
Stay blessed, brother. All right. Oh, man. So there you have it. I mean, here it is. There's no right answer to this situation. Let's just be completely straight funky. There is no straight answer to this situation. There are so many different avenues that could have happened, where either he could have waited, saw the gun go flying, or what if he didn't throw the gun? What if he wasn't going to throw the... You see what I'm saying? It's a bunch of what ifs, which sucks, which really, really sucks. But these are the reasons why we have these conversations, that we talk about these things. You know what I mean? So, of course, like I always say, give me a call, 314-766-4581. Phone lines are open. Love to hear your 2 cents on this situation. It's pretty crazy. It's unfortunate. Real talk, it's unfortunate. But at the same time, what do you do? What would you do in those short few seconds? Do you pull the trigger? Do you not pull the trigger? Do you risk your own life to see what he's going to do? Or do you beat him to the punch? And that's a question that I leave up to you guys. So give me a call, 314-766-4581. Don't be shy. Marcus wasn't. He called me. Marcus from down south, he called. Appreciate the phone call, my brother. And by the way, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. I see a lot of new faces and new names in here, so I'm going to go over here and chat it up with y'all. This is not a new name, but I just saw his comment, so I'm going to read this really quick. On Facebook, Jerry, what's up, man? Good evening. He says, I think the general public is having issues separating brutality and use of necessary force. Sometimes lethal force is necessary and sometimes it is not. Everyone needs to have an open mind and consider each situation as its own. That is beautifully written, Jerry. Thank you so much for saying that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Not every situation is the same situation. You see what I'm saying? Like where someone gets shot 7 times in the back, it's a different situation as to the situation of Deon Kay right here, where it's a split-second decision. There's only one bullet used. He was shot once, and that's it. You see what I'm saying? Nothing, no excessive force, no person putting a spit bag around somebody's neck and putting all this pressure on his neck and letting him die underneath you, naked, and complying. That's another situation. Each situation is different. Like we talked about a while back. Remember a while back? It feels like this was eons ago. Real talk. Remember a while back the ladies that were the girl was walking out of a Chipotle and she pulled out her gun. It was 2 black women and a white woman and her husband, and she pulled out her gun because the white girl was pulling out her gun because she was trying to get out of the parking spot so she can go home. And the 2 black girls were, the mother and daughter were very upset and all that, videotaping and everything. Yeah, totally different situation than like a Karen that is just having a tantrum in the middle of a supermarket because she refuses to wear a mask. each situation needs to be looked at. Every situation needs to be looked at in a unbiased way. Dismantle it, break it down, and then come up with your own particular opinions about things. So, Jerry, you said it beautifully. I really appreciate that. Mr. Super, that's a good question. Would a taser had helped? The one officer could have tased him in the back. That's very true. You know, but the thing is like, if you got somebody who's running that fast, who's moving that fast, because it seemed like they were trying to, like that kid was slick. Looked like he had some moves, like he had some speed on him. I don't know if a taser would have like caught him. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh, shoot him with a bullet because it'll catch that fast son of a gun. No, but I'm just saying, would it even be able to reach him? That's the question. With somebody who's going that fast, running that fast. Inquiring minds would like to know. Enemy Nation. Human reaction time is a quarter of a second, and that's just identifying the threat for muscles to respond and get into position. 800 milliseconds, a little over a second. Good to know. Good to know. Michael D. It's like watching old police academy movies where they go through training, but they always shoot the wrong thing because they're scared. Shoot the wrong targets because they're scared. That's funny. That is really funny. Well, then where's Hightower? You know what I'm saying? Where's the guy who makes all the noises and stuff and gets everybody out of hairy situations through his making all those noises and stuff? You know, inquiring minds would like to know, Mike. Dude had a gun. Cops go home from work. Nobleness D. I mean, you know, if you want to break it down as cut and dry like that, sure. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's kind of like bang bang. I didn't mean the bang bang like, no pun intended. I'm just saying. Kind of is like that. Tyrannus, what's up? He needs to be in the NFL or the Olympic shot put competition if he threw that gun that far underhanded. And, you know, the thing is yeah, I mean, the dude was chucking that mug because obviously he just didn't want to get caught with it. But they already knew that he had a gun on him. That's what doesn't make any sense. You know, it was just bad choices all at the same time. We had a similar situation in London where a man threw his weapon away and they still shot and killed him. Mark Dugan. See, I mean, but that's the thing. You do a big gesture like that, they react. You know? And nowadays, they're all you know, it's trigger happy in a way. You know? Yeah, he did launch it. Yeah, he did. He chucked that mug like far. And people like, shoot. But like I said, like, unfortunately, Deon Kay made the wrong choice, made the wrong move. And it is unfortunate that happened. It's unfortunate it went down that way, you know? And I think the only way that things are going to get better is if we have different approaches to these particular situations. But if a kid is running around with a gun and he makes a big gesture like that, I'm not surprised that the cop did what he did. I'm just not. I'm not. I don't think it's. I personally, in this particular one moment, I don't consider this police brutality. I know that might sound crazy, but I just don't consider it police brutality in this situation. I just don't. Just watch Trump, OMG, times 10. That's funny. I've gotten stopped so many times with guns on me in very precarious situations, never got shot, and getting shot never crossed my mind. See, and okay, here it is. Lately, I've had those thoughts. But I haven't had a run-in, knock on wood, I haven't had a run-in with a cop in a while. In that way, like a traffic stop, that kind of thing. I don't drive around with guns on me or anything like that. I don't drive around with weapons on me or anything. But at the same time, like I try my damnedest to comply because I don't want to die. Because I don't want it to be a situation where they're saying, oh, he's being aggressive, bang, bang, bang in the back. I just don't, I just don't. Those kind of lives, that kind of living is scary, But I have had moments where I thought I was in serious trouble. And I've told those stories on the show before. All right. Anna-Me, what's up?
What's up, man?
Man, chilling. What's good?
I really wanted to, talk to you offline about this.
Okay.
Seeing you some proofs of what I was saying. But since this case is so close to a case that I had early.
Really?
You know what I mean, I was 18 years old, and in Texas, I don't know if that's the United States wide, but I know in Texas you're not supposed to have handguns unless you're 21. And you can have rifles at 18, but you're not supposed to have handguns until 21. And when I was, I can't believe I'm going to tell you this story, but when I was 18, this is when Tupac was out, and there was that song that came out, I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours,
yeah,
I gotta get mine,
right.
And I had the tattoos. I was drinking 40 ounces every day, and I'm kind of showing my age, but it was back in that culture. You know what I mean?
That
and me and a cousin, and one of my cousins, it was just like, hey man, I think Minister Society had just come out, and it was a carjacking thing in that, and we got hype on that. And we was like, hey man, we want to go get cars. And so I figured, the only, the easiest way was to get it done. You know what I mean? And I had a job. So my first paycheck on this particular job, I was working security at an airport. So my first paycheck, I went and bought a Glock 17, right? And we was like, oh, well, we're going to go jacking tonight. So me, my cousin, and one of my best friends, I was in the Bloods back then. So we decided we were going to go carjacking, right? Mm-hmm. So we go into this white part of town, and we see this car creeping up. We see this car kind of driving, down the street slowly. Mm-hmm. So my friend pulled up and blocked her. We didn't know we didn't know who was in the car, but he blocked the car. So I get out of my side. I pull my gun out and it was a lady, and she had a daughter in the car. So I'm like, got the car, bitch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so she screams. She hits the gas. She hits the gas. You know what I mean? And she takes off. And when my friend blocked the car, he didn't block it completely. So she just kind of drove around him and took off. Mm-hmm. He got scared and took off too. And as she was driving off, I shot my pistol, in the general direction, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I shot my pistol. And I don't know if it was out of anger or frustration, whatever, but I remember shooting my pistol, right? So my friend, I guess he got paranoid. He just left us. He left me and my cousin. So we're in a part of town where we don't know. And so my cousin was like, hey, man, I know I got a friend that lives near here in some apartments. Let's see if we can go walk there. So, because I kept calling my homeboy on, because I had a flip phone at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So kept calling. We called them burners back then. So I called my homeboy. He wouldn't answer his phone. So we decided to walk to these apartments that was like 2 miles away. And all the while, there was this tow truck following us, right? And I'm like, what the fuck is this tow truck? And someone told me to throw the gun on the top of a roof and come back later and get it. Because, I mean,
Right.
I spent like $500 on this gun, right? And I got it from some, dope dealer in the hood. But I didn't want to get rid of it. I just wanted to hold on to it because I didn't think I was going to get caught that night. But there was this tow truck driver that was kind of following us, but not following us. And so you don't know if he following us or if he just, you know what I mean? So we get to the apartment. I call my homeboy. We still don't answer the phone. So we was like, fuck it, man. We're just going to have to walk somewhere. And we're in the suburbs, so they don't have bus lines. Typically suburbs don't have bus lines.
Right.
That's usually in the city. So it's like, man, we're just going to have to walk to a corner store and try to call them from a payphone later on because we're in these people's houses and it's late at night. So as we were coming out of the apartments and we were going to come out of the apartment complex, cops pulled up on us just like these guys did in this video. And it was like, freeze, don't move. First thing I did was my hands went up. I had the gun, in the small of my back, right? Mm-hmm. So my hands go up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my cousin's hands go up. Get on the ground. We got on our knees, laid on the ground. They found the firearm, right? And they put my hands in a paper bag, right? So because they wanted to keep the ballistic. Because when you shoot, you get gunpowder that comes from the hand. So they wanted to keep the ballistic.
I was wondering why. I'm like, what?
They put my hands in a paper bag. But that was my first run-in with the law, right? And subsequently, I had many more occasions. I mean, almost every time. There was one time I was on school property with a firearm. So, and I wasn't doing anything nefarious. Every time I did that first time, I never was doing anything nefarious or wrong. I just felt like I just needed a gun because of that hip-hop culture and, the gangs and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is I probably got arrested roughly 30 times from 18 to 23.
Right.
And the last time it was a federal case, So, I had like, I think it was 14 firearms, you know what I mean? And I got caught before with guns when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, at each time I had run-ins with the cops. So, when I hear these people was like, oh, these cops are hunting me down, and I'm like, damn, man, every time I had a run-in with a cop, I mean, whether I was driving, get pulled over because we drive in and I do a traffic violation. They say, you got a firearm in the car?
Yeah.
I tell them, yeah, I got one in the glove box.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay, well, you're convicted felon, right? Oh, okay. Well, you're not supposed to have this gun. I'm going to take you to jail. Go to jail, get an attorney and go from there.
Right.
And it was always the same process. And I've had guys in the hood that in one of the neighborhoods that I had my firearms, right? I mean, my business. They always had guns. I was getting stopped by the cops. And the police, in the 12 years I was at that spot, police never killed anyone. They made several arrests, but they never killed anyone. But the guys were always getting killed by other guys.
Ah.
So when I didn't go through the 80s, the 90s, and it was actually like 98 when was my last case. Mm-hmm. But when I can go through the the late 80s, all through the 90s, at the height of crack, at the height of the Bill Clinton crime bills and all that, and have just, and be surrounded in the hood in Texas with all this going on, and it's never these black people getting killed like they're making it out to be on the news.
Right.
Now it's all of a sudden every other week there's some black kid, doing this and this. And I'm looking at them like, I would have never done that shit. And I mean, way back then and I guess it's because, I grew up in a 2-parent home and I was always taught to respect authority.
Yeah.
I always taught to say yes, sir. And it helped me a lot of times when I would go in front of the judges. They just, I just can't see how you would do this, such a menace, because your demeanor doesn't strike me that in front of the court. So I think a lot of that has to do with the media portraying black men as menace to society, and then when it happens on the end where the cops are so paranoid, because it's not just the media portraying this. A lot of this shit is actually true.
Yeah.
This guy, so, I mean, I just kind of, I kind of wanted to let you know that I'm not being, when I say what I say in the comment sections, this is not coming from a place of ignorance. This is, because I really don't like talking from a place of ignorance. I always like to talk from a place of experience.
Right.
And I'm coming from my perspective in the same scenario. And this is almost to the T what happened. We was in an apartment complex just like this dude. Mm-hmm. And it was 2 of us. And we were in a white neighborhood.
True. I mean,
you know what I mean?
And thank you so much for sharing that story. I mean, at the end of the day, at the end of it all, the kid shouldn't have ran. I mean, if you really think of like the start of it all, what started the chase, he ran. It's not like they ran up to him, shoved him and said, "Run, mother." You know what I mean? They didn't say that. They pulled up. He took off. They ran after him. He tried to throw his gun. Dude popped off a shot. It's at the end of it, if he complied, I think the situation would be completely different, for sure. If he complied, well,
no doubt,
I would hope.
It happens every day.
I would hope.
I mean?
Exactly.
Comply every day.
Exactly.
And we're just getting. We're just getting the narrative.
And I'm one. Yes, and I'm one black guy that will comply. There's like yourself, you will comply. There's other kids. There's other black guys out there, black people out there that'll just start trucking, just start booking, and that where they will not comply. And the thing is that those type of things need to start stopping. You know what I mean? Need to end.
But you notice that when Tupac got robbed, right? When Tupac got robbed, he didn't get robbed he didn't get shot because they just felt like fucking shooting him.
Yeah.
He got shot because they pulled guns on him. Multiple guys pulled guns on him and said, "Give us your jewelry." And Tupac was like, "Fuck that, I'm going to fight you back." Right? And he gets shot 5 times, and he could have got killed, right?
Right.
And I think after that Tupac shooting, possibly, a lot of people kind of felt, and then, you got 50 Cent come out. I think that influenced a lot of thinking with today's youth. Because, like I said, when I was growing up, I didn't suffer from that dilemma. I mean, it was just understood. Cops were the authority. As long as you do what they say, your chances of, making it without, because back then it wasn't about getting shot by cops. Back then it was about getting your ass kicked. You know what I mean? By cops.
Absolutely.
Which I've never had. I've never had a cop say anything that I would consider racist. And I was younger, but by no means an idiot. I just never have had that. And neither had the guy in my community experienced that. And it's just now recently, actually since Obama took office, as you remember when Henry Louis Gates was breaking into his house because he didn't have his key. The cops pulled up on him, and he got into an argument with the cops, and the cops took him to jail for being belligerent. And then Barack Obama, a couple of months after he got after his inauguration, he gets on TV and says, "Oh, the cop was stupid," and then publicly criticized police. And it's been an ongoing scenario with this police stuff ever since, because it didn't happen in the Bush administration, and it didn't happen in the Clinton administration. It didn't happen in the other Bush administration, and it didn't happen in the Ronald Reagan administration. This stuff came, this anti-cop rhetoric stuff came during the Obama administration. We had it in the 70s with the Black Panthers, from the 60s to the early 70s.
But you got to remember. But you also got to remember. But you got to remember. Hold on. You got to remember, like this. It started back then with back then. Just because it wasn't prominent in, say, the 80s and 90s, let's just say, doesn't mean that it wasn't still there. It's just that there's new technology that came out. It's called cell phones, being able to videotape everything, social medias and all that, putting those things on so that people can see the real truths about things that are going on. So we can't really just say it's Obama. I mean, it's been going on forever. You see what I'm saying? The police brutality thing's been going on forever. It just happens to be that Obama was right then and there being a part of it. And also, Zozo Bob, thank you for calling that out. Rodney King, that wasn't when Obama was in office. That was happening during, I think, Clinton years. You see what I'm saying? I think, or Bush.
No, that
Bush
was
senior year.
That was George Bush Senior.
Yes, thank you. Bush senior year. But you see what I'm saying?
That happened to Rodney King.
But you see what I'm saying?
Wasn't a shooting.
But you see what I'm saying? It wasn't a shooting. It wasn't a. Here it is. It wasn't shooting. Hold on, enemy. It wasn't shooting, but it was still police brutality. It was still a scene of police brutality. Clearly, those cops were racist. They were exposed for being racist. So this has been happening way before Obama. The only reason why Obama right now, just for example, is being put under the envelope, under the light for the stuff that's been going on right now is because he was president. He was in office when social media started blowing the F up. When cell phones had video opportunities and Facebook was a thing, and MySpace was dead. Everybody went to Facebook. IG started to exist. YouTube was huge. You see what I'm saying? So we can't really just put it all on Obama. We can't just put it all on Obama.
I'm not putting it all on Obama.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that, if you look at the Democratic National Convention in 1968, these are all white kids getting beat and brutalized by cops. There wasn't one black person in those crowds. And we're talking about dozens of white kids getting beat and brutalized by cops, and this was all on the news. Yeah, they were roughhousing news anchors. They rather got punched in the ribs on national TV, by cops. So, to spin that this is what I'm saying. Spin that narrative. Because this ain't just in the United States. All these anti-police stuff, this is all over the world.
Right.
So this is my question when people say, the police here suck, and so on and so forth. My question is, if the police in the United States suck, and these protests are all over the world, then where in the world is the better example at?
Where in the world is the different example at?
We know that pulling police out of neighborhoods, especially underserved neighborhoods, it's not going to work, because we know that the criminal element is going to take over. Most of the people, and even during the Black Panther movement, most of the Black Americans just wasn't with that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They just wasn't with that. There's a certain amount of percentages where you have to say, this is what I'm saying, there's a certain amount of percentage of police error, not police misconduct, but police error, human error. Mm-hmm. When you're dealing with human beings, because we're not robots, this isn't Chappie, you know what I mean? there's a certain amount of police error that we have to accept and be honest with ourselves about, that we're going to have to say, hey, look, we'll accept that, and the bad apples, we'll try to root them out. And the main problem with trying to root bad apples out is that you have the police union and you have the police lobby, you have these fraternal orders of police, these organizations that are there to protect police from their jobs and stuff like that, because people lie. And so you're going to get people that's going to file false harassment suits, file false brutality suits. And so when they get thrown on police just because someone is upset that they got arrested, you know what I mean? And then that police loses his job and he can't never work as a police officer. So it's kind of like a, damn if you do, damn if you don't. There's only trade-offs.
Right.
There's never solution. And so as a modern civilized society, we just have to deal and be honest, because everybody's always talking about let's have an honest conversation.
Right.
Right? We have to be honest with ourselves and say, okay, well, if the police has been trained, police, you got this, you got that. You can't just really get rid of the police unions because they give them certain amount of security. You just can't just charge police like you charge the average person, because the police are looking to stop crime, and the average person is looking to do crime. So you can't just make an apples to apples comparison like that. Okay, so where does the problem lie? Okay, well, the problem lies where you have police that are trained and you don't have a public that is trained. You know what I mean? And so if you're not training the public, because we looked at everything, we've tried to.
So then shouldn't the police be approaching us like we are not trained? It's not like we all know this. It's not like we all know what to do in regards to complying. I know what I'm saying is really dumb, but just run with me on this, guys. It's not like every day that you walk into a place and you're like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Say a cop has his gun out and he's barking at you orders. Not everybody knows instinctually to comply. Some people get scared and they run. I mean, that's obvious. We've seen it multiple times, right? But then there's other people that don't, that do comply. But maybe with what you're saying, maybe that's what it is. But I really do feel like there needs to be, and unfortunately, I got to wrap this up, enemy. So sorry, I got to cut this short. But here it is, because I'm seeing in the comments down below that some people are saying in the comments, oh, I'm feeling like there's a revolution coming. You know what I think the revolution should be? If we're looking just in the police department, there needs to be a revolution within the police department. They need to gut out every single bad apple. Everybody that has a bad record and everything like that gets completely fired, kicked out, and they start afresh. They start anew. All the new cadets, all the new kids, all the guys that have been there for a long time that are good cops, stay. All the bad apples, they weed them out. They smoke them out. Well, that's what needs to happen. Because I don't think that the police, I don't think that there is going to be any time on this planet that the general public's going to learn how to universally comply with the police.
The general public is. Not millions of people are dying a year. It's only like less than 500 people that are dying a year. So the general public is 325 million people in this country. So the general public does know. It's just the small percentage of people that take off running, that resist arrest. The general people get arrested every day, all day long. They comply. But what we focus on is this less than 0.5% of people that want to, they just, you're going to get that. You're going to get people that just, no matter how much you tell them, no matter what you tell them, they're just going to have to find out that meat is greedy. Yep. And the same thing with cops. There's just the majority of cops do their job. They do a good job. Yeah. They're not corrupt. But there's a small percentage, a very small percentage, that do the fucked up shit. So the vast majority of people know how to interact with cops. Otherwise, you'd see just as many people dead from police killings as you would see, as deaths from the coronavirus.
I see what you're saying.
So the vast majority of people know how to interact with cops.
Right.
There's a lot of people say, "Oh, well, this country is racist." No, that's not true. Because if that was the case, black people would have been gone out of this country. It would have been genocide.
Yeah, I mean, we would not exist anymore.
If it was just so racist.
I see what you're saying, so, and that's, I'm not, hopefully what I said is not, I think is getting a little misconstrued or misunderstood, but I understand what you're saying completely. Enemy.
I'm being facetious.
But I know. You good.
I'm being
but
anal a little bit.
No, it's all good. Enemy, thank you so much for calling in. I'm sorry, I got to wrap up the show today. And I know we can talk for another straight hour. But Enemy, thank you so much for calling in, brother. All right, stay blessed. All right.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. Peace.
All right.
Well, there you have it, guys. I really do think that we all have our own particular opinions about how the world should be running and how things should be better and how things should be, how we should take care of ourselves, how we should get rid of some of these bad apples. Some people want the bad apples there. Some of them want to keep the bad apples in there. I don't know why, but some people are crazy. But at the same time, I think that there needs to be, yes, there obviously is slowly becoming, there is some sort of revolution that's going on in the streets. Whether it is good or bad, there is something going on in the streets. There's something going on out there in the social media, in the social atmosphere that's going on. It is brimming, it's boiling. At some point, it's got to start getting better. One thing I do believe, one thing I really truly believe, is that I think we're in a place where we need to start breaking things down in the police department and start breaking it down so that we can restructure it, rebuild it so that it's stronger. Have a good foundation. I think the foundation of the police department, obviously I'm speaking out of turn. I don't know a whole lot, but I do feel that what is going on in the police department, I feel like it's always been seedy and corrupt. We need to get rid of that corruption. That doesn't mean defund. It just means reform. Anyway, I got to get going, guys. I'm sorry, but, I said it was going to be a short show. I love all you guys. You guys are all fantastic. Marcus from down south, thank you so much for calling in. Enemy Nation, as always, I appreciate you calling in, my soldier. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. If you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. And of course, if this is your first time checking out this show, crush that subscribe button. That would really mean a lot to me. We do this show, or I do this show, Monday through Friday, 2 shows, one at 9 a.m. and one at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.